these are brand new. These are brand new out. We have the border stamp and stencil sets. I love borders, absolutely love them, and I did have some border stencils before, but I wanted some that really fitted on the large journals. So here they are. This one is brickwork. I'm not sure if you can see it through the packaging, but you get a stencil and then you also get the stamp to go over the top. Now these are not meant to fit flush. What happens, they're meant to be slightly offset. So you would take your blending tool, you would do the stencil, then you would add this on the top, and I'll show you in a minute a sample of it. So we have the brickwork, we have the cobwebs, and we have the leaves, and these fit the large journal. You can use them on anything, but they fit the large journal. And we also have them small, so these will fit the diary, they'll fit the square journal, they'll fit the small journal. So again, we have the leaves, we have the brickwork, and we have the cobwebs. And the idea is, you can see here, can you see where I've gone through the stencil? Now if you look at the stencil, it does actually say, can you see that? Front, because they do go a certain way. So if you're just using it as a stencil on its own, you can do whatever, but if you're using it with the stamp, you want to make sure there's front on there. So you can see I took the laid back lilac and I stenciled through, I moved it down, and then I took the stamp. Now what is the stamp on? Obviously this is a massive stamp. Look at this. These are silicone, by the way, they're not polymer. These are silicone stamps. Look how soft and lovely these stamps are. So this is the new journal block, large journal block. There's also going to be the smaller one, you know, the smaller one that we all love. That's going to be just redesigned with these extra bits on. It's exactly the same shape. So this is a different shape, and it has on here a 12-inch ruler. It has little squares and oblongs, just mainly so you can doodle through. It has circles, but it's also got lines. Look, that's the halfway point, that's the, you know, quarter, halfway, etc. So you can put something in the middle on that line, and you can tell how, you know, you can center it really easy. So that's the journal block. And the trick with these stamps, when you first get them, when you peel them off, it can stretch them a little. So if you take it, lay it flat on your mat, and then take your block and put your block onto the stamp and lift it up, and it will be great, really good to use. I just wanted to show you as well here, this is, you can see the difference. So this is the journal block. You can see I was doing that last night while I was babysitting Martha. So this is just using that new journal block, the different shape on there. So that's using one of the that's using J, actually. J, you're on there, okay? So, and that's how you do it. Now, obviously they're called border stamps, but you can see here I've used it across the page, yeah? And then what I would do is I would just pick some images to go on there. So I'm just going to put them to one side. And then the last thing that we have today, last but not least, is the stamps. They're all in the wrong order now. So rubber stamps. Rubber has always been my love. But when you do really big stamps like this, it can get really expensive if you do it with rubber. But also, because I wanted to position those, you need to have those see-through so you can see where to put them. I forgot to say on these as well, you could use the stencil on its own, you can use the stamp on its own, or you can use the two together as they're designed. So here are the stamps. This is, I love this one, and I know I got a few funny looks when I submitted this. This one is called Fish Face. And remember, all my stamps come from collages that I make. So this was a collage I made on one of my alphabet cards. This one was as well, actually, and I just fell in love with them. So this one is called Fish Face. This one is called Plenty of Fish in the Sea. Now you might recognise some of these because they are on another little stamp plate, but they're a lot smaller. When I first started, we did smaller stamps and I wanted them bigger. So also there's a mermaid's tail. So with a little bit of a fishy theme going on there. This one is called Flights of Fancy, and you might not realise, but these are actually octopus tentacles. I really liked those, but I wanted them on separate. So we've got the tentacles here, we've got some feathers up the top, then we have the little, it's not a butterfly, but you can make it into a butterfly, but I wanted separate wings. That would be too normal for me to do a butterfly, wouldn't it? And then we've got the little fellow in the middle. Then this one is Waddle Waddle. So again, this was another of my collages. This is a bird with the man's head. And remember, everything can be mixed and matched. I have 2 sets of legs and I have the flamingo head. I didn't want to do a flamingo body, and you'll see why. And then I have the little bug here. This one, I just adore this one. You know my doodling. Look, it's doodled to death. This one's called Everything's Rosy. And we have the little roses down here. This is 1 stamp, but it can easily be cut into 2. We have these lovely doodled, large and small doodled flowers there. 2 simple flowers, and then we have some stalks. But you'll see where I use the tentacles as stalks. Then I also have the my wonderful sayings. What have we got this time? The only person I trust is me, and even that's iffy. I wish I was as thin as my patients. So those are the stamps, and you can see this is what I do. I stamp loads out. Look, this whole bag. Can you see? I stamp them, stamp them, stamp them, stamp them. And then I actually sat watching Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children with Maisie on Monday morning, and that's when I cut a lot of these out. So I cut them all out. So then when I get my background like so, I will go through and I'll maybe decide, what do I want? You know, I could do that, and I could put a flower up on here. So that's how I decide what I'm doing, whether you want a wing on the back of here. Can you see? So I just sort of play around with them. So it's much easier to have them cut out like this. Of course, they're stamped on my mixed media cardstock. I have this in packs, or you can just buy a big journal, tear all the pages out. That's what I do. I just use them all there. So there are the stamps. So let me show you quickly some samples. Now these are some J made. I'm going to go through these quick because we are going to put them up. But these are some J made using the new colours, okay? So this is black, can you see? Now, even though these colours are still pale, pastels, look how they pop on black. Oh, Miss Betsy's in the corridor crying. So this is paint. This is paint on craft. Again, look how gorgeous it looks. Again, paint. Can you see the paint in the background? And you can see the flamingo is made with the feathers. And I love this one. She just mopped up leftover ink. Look at the background. She stamped the brickwork down, and then she's got the little person on there. And then these are all ready for me to colour. So we've got the leaves in the background. We've got the stamps on. We've got the little flower, and she's bleached it out, faux bleached it out. This is ink in the background. Can you see? I love this, where she's used the tentacle as the butterfly, and these are the eyes of one of the octopuses. So yeah, so we've got some here again. Look at the beautiful colours of the paint. This is the ink. This is the paint again on craft. Look how gorgeous on craft. You can see the brickwork in the background. This is the ink. Love this. Look at the paint. Just look how gorgeous that paint is on there. And that's used on ink, and it's been ghosted, and we've put the colour back in. And then I have these, and these will all be on the blog in the next couple of days. So here we have the flamingo on the bird's body. We have here, this is the tentacle, can you see? And I've put the flower on top, so we've got the flowers there. Parts of the fish. Now, whenever I use part of it, you're guaranteed the other half will appear somewhere else. So look out for those. So we've got the fish. This was just cleaning up, using the blending tool with white on to make those circles. Again, here we've got the fish at the bottom with the flower and a little bug. That says, I'm working, please kindly go away. I say that a lot. Here we've just taken the bug and we've just put one of the wings on. So if I'd have done a butterfly, I don't think it would have been as versatile. I like to mix them all up. Again, these are all coloured in just with my inks. So he's got a little bug there. We've given the fish face. We've given him some wings on the back. Here again, look, we've used the tentacles in with the flowers. And 2 little like fireflies up the top. The fish, and I've given him actually a mermaid's tail. I thought, why not? Why can't fish be mermaids? So can you see here where I've used the end of a fish? I've probably used the front of a fish on something else, you see. So save all your bits. Again, another, that says don't talk to me after my coffee either. It must be grumpy flamingo. But we've used the feathers there as the body. Again, another the fish face. Actually use them as proper tentacles this time. There you go. There's the other part of the fish. You know, the one I showed you earlier. Let me see. Oh, look at that. You see? I never throw anything away. I keep them and use the other bits on there. Those were the eyes that made that butterfly before as well. So again, if you ran like your mouth, you'd be in great shape. Again, look, parts of fish, different ones on there. The flowers with a little happy bug. He's got, look at that, he's got such a sweet little face. A flamingo using the wing. A flamingo using the flowers. Another one of the the fish. This is clean up. So this is when I've cleaned up on a night doing this. So this is part of the mermaid bottom. That's the head from the chicken. From the bird stamp, some feathers, and a little octopus. Again, we've used them coming out here. Did you see actually in one of those that Jay did, where she actually used them here? Can you see? She's used them as a branch, and the bird is sat on a branch. So lots of ideas there. We've got loads more. I actually only got some of this stuff not too long ago, so we're making samples constantly. We're on the go. When we're not looking after babies, we're making samples. So I hope you enjoyed that. We haven't seen any comments, so I hope there's somebody there, and I hope you're having fun. And I'm sorry about the first video, but